point to see any of my child jump up on me. It's the usual routine. Whenever daddy is online and they get to see daddy online, they will come show their faces. And I'll tell you why as we have the conversation. Please, Uniasim, can you confirm that you can see my slides? Great. Excuse me. I can't hear you. If you're responding to me, I can't hear you. I need to know that my slides, or you could just send a chat. I think I could read the chats if you can't. I just want to be sure that my slides are on the screen. Okay.
We can see it.
Awesome. Great. So
Yes.
balancing technology with everyday living. I started the conversation by making us realize that technology is here to stay. There's nothing we're going to do to take it away. Technology is more of an amplifier. Technology is an enabler. That's what technology is. And because of technology, we can have this conversation. So you can see it. You can look when we want to talk about the advantages of technology. It's numerous, and many of us have become more efficient in work because of technology. Many of us have become more I'm looking for the right adjectives, but we're versatile. There's so much. You not even look smarter because of technology. Someone was asking a question, and then before they finished, someone raised their hand to answer the question, and all was because of technology. You can do your work better. You become more competent if you can use technology to do your work. You find out that in business, you can reach more customers beyond the limitations of your environment because of technology. Because of technology, communication is easy. You're not so worried because you can not only hear, but you can as well see, just like we're having this conversation. So technology is an enabler. And you can see the family on the screen. And if this, I wish I was having live responses on this call directly, I could see that would have been great. But look at this family here on the screen. Technology also brings joy because it can bring entertainment to your feet. It can bring the things you desire to you without you, you know, going anywhere. However, technology can also disrupt. But let's look at the question here. Is technology a tool or a weapon? I had earlier said that technology is an enabler. So technology could be a tool and an enabler and not a skill, but just like a gun, it depends on who is using it, why it's being used, and what it's being used for. So technology in the hand of a creator, in the hand of someone who has a goal, a job to do, is an enabler. Technology in the hand of a jobless person is a tool. Jobless, let me categorize or let me explain that. So, I like this. As a policeman, technology can help you do research. You can search digital footprints, you can track, you can locate people, with their phones. If you can get the phone IMEI number, you can track them, you can follow them. Yes, technology also to a jobless person is a tool to scam others. So while one is using it to track to keep people safe, the other one is using it to track to steal from people. So it could be a tool or a weapon depending on who is using it, why the person is using technology. Um, so let's look at a little thing about technology and parents here, because I believe most people watching these are parents. This was a research by Matt Pohl talking about children's social media use. And let me say this, any parents who thinks their child, like from the age of 8 upwards, the research used to show this, are not on social media, please wake up. Your child's on TikTok, is on Snapchat, is in places you do not know. Research has also shown that um, 9 out of every 10 child that doesn't have a device has an online account, a parody account somewhere online, because you do not monitor 100%, and you might not be able to monitor 100% your child's activities. So they could use technology in school. Are you in school with them? Do you know, so there are a lot of things. Before the end of this conversation, I will also share some things you could do to help you keep your children safe online. But then one of the strongest tools, and I'll say this before, I'll probably say it with the middle and I'll say it again. One of the greatest tools that any parents can use, to keep their children online is communication. Maybe we'll talk about that. But looking at these statistics, 1 in 6 parents don't use parental control. And that is not even saying that the 5 and the 6 that even use parental control know how to use it. 37 parents don't have time. And now this is a validation of the statement I just made. 39% don't have time to monitor their children's social media. So even if you have the control, are you monitoring? Do you understand the readings from it? 21% of parents can't find information to set up monitoring. So, like I had said earlier, that we are digital migrants. We are still trying to find the buttons here. Our children will just pick your phone, no matter the lock, in maybe 2 hours or less. They've opened your phone and they're just jumping everywhere. While you are still struggling, sometimes there's a smart TV in the house, and I'm like, okay, so what do we do? We are trying to. My son, oh, daddy, just do this, just do this. I'm like, they say, this is your thing, okay? So I got it. I have the capacity to get it. You have the capacity to use it. So we are still, and don't flog yourself for that, because, like I said, life is an ever learning journey. 32% of children, now look at this, find ways to circumvent parental controls. So let me give you a quick example. I know many parents will now start to run to check. Remember, children are very smart. They have the advantage of the use of technology, you know, and then they have the time. Remember, you don't have the time like they do. So they have the time to search for more ways to escape all your traps. And they engage themselves. They have their, for lack of words again, they have their cohorts. Like I love that word. They have their cohorts where they engage in conversation and they discuss all of you parents and all the things you're doing. And then they are finding smarter ways to outsmart their parents. Do you have time to keep up with that? Now, I said communication is a strong tool. So it's about balancing um, the use of technology in the family. And, we need to look at what the challenges are, what the benefits are. So the benefits, we'll talk about the benefits. And then we'll go to the challenges. Um, Balance promotes healthy relationship, well-being, and life satisfaction. It fosters meaningful connections, encourages offline activities, and creates a healthy environment. And I know this sounds like what you truly want in your home, where everyone is happy, everyone is connected, everyone is satisfied, everyone is having meaningful relationship with one another. Now, let me go back to my very first slide. Now, this feels like what I just said, but however, this also shows the challenges, part of the challenges that technology brings. Can you identify? So maybe, Yinasim, you may be my audience here. Please connect your audio. You may be my audience here. I'll need you just for 1 minute to tell me what you think about this picture.
Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, so here I see the mother and father and daughter all busy on their phones. Like I see like they don't really interact. They are not interacting here. They are all busy on their phones. That's all I can see.
But they are happy, right?
Yeah, they look happy, yes.
Yeah. They look, I'm happy you saw that they look
Mm,
happy. So you see this as a happy family.
mm,
Everybody is gradually disconnecting because they do not find the joy. They are on the same sofa, on the same couch, but they
mm,
are in different worlds. The mother may be gisting with her friends, the father his colleagues, and the child, of course, chatting with her classmates, in whatever platform they've connected. I was going to say something about your children outsmarting you. You try to track them, but something I discovered recently that children in the bid to use technology or to outsmart their parents. Oh, if they chat on WhatsApp and they delete my parents, we know this and that. They started using the platform for learning to chat. So they can have a Google Drive and you think it's assignments and all that. And you opened a doc that they've shared. So it's a shared doc. So they are now chatting. It's like back end coding where you now see all it's very funny. These children will always find ways. But back to this picture here. Yes, while technology has helped them connect, externally is breaking their connection internally. So they do not find joy spending time together. Rather, they find joy spending time connecting externally, even though they are together. And this breaks the strength and the essence and the opportunity of families and for families to to imbibe in their children the values that will help promote whatever it is their dreams, ambitions, and aspirations are. So it's very important, to create balance. And like I said, the challenges here, excessive screen time can lead to decreased face-to-face interaction, like we have seen in the family. So you're all together, and I wish I was having back-to-back conversations here. You would see I believe some of you will agree with me that even when you're eating, you're like, you know, and then your child is talking to you, okay, God, you see, you're so disconnected. Before you know, you do not really see what is happening to your child. You ignore some signs. Your child gradually then finds the answer he or she could find because the truth is that their mommy are not there. They're too busy. They're always online and all that. So before you know, there's that disconnection. There's poor sleep. There's physical inactivity contributes to mental health issues and all that. Have you ever really wondered why in your generation the concept of mental health wasn't as loud as it is today? There are a whole lot of researches that point to that. But addiction, I'm going to say this, just like we have drug addiction, is the same principle for addiction. Just like we have drug addiction, sex addiction, screen addiction also, which follows the same addiction principle, has has I would say has somewhat a more mental and emotional damaging effect more than others. And this is me just speaking here. So you find out that because the dopamine level raises your excitement and what you see here, and then that's what you see can lead to other things, and even lead to see more of drugs, see more of porn and all that. But because it's feeding you directly more, what happens is that your your subconscious now gets reprogrammed, and your idea of reality is now based on the fictitious things that um, technology amplifies to you. And so the children do not now know the founding values that help to become a resilient and responsible father or mother. And what happens is that they cannot now handle the challenges they face. The next thing you know is mental health issues, there's breakdown because there's no form. A lot of us who grew up in Africa, we knew the beating we got from our parents. And this is not in any way to promote, those kind of hard beating. I believe in discipline, but I do not just believe in random beatings. Um, you'd ask yourself, why didn't those beatings break you? Why didn't those beatings break you? Why do the beatings today become emotional or mental abuse at the end of the day? So I need to think through these thoughts. That's not the conversation, but I'm just saying the challenge is here that um, imbalance with the use of technology brings. And I have just mentioned that poor sleep also affects the state of the mind. But let's look at this setting boundaries and rules. Do you have a media plan? There's the popular saying that uh, um, it just keeps me. If you don't, yes, I remember that saying now. If you fail to plan, you have plans to fail. That's not a motivational speech. That's a factual statement. So the question is, do you have a media plan? What's a media plan? It's just like a guidelines on the use of technology or any media gadgets. For example, when should TV come on? And I'm saying this because children are your responsibility. I'm a Christian, and there is a verse in the Bible. I see the Bible as a textbook as well for life. So please don't think about it religiously. Take the text and understand how it affects you. There's a scripture that says, train up a child in the way he should go. So, in other words, the responsibility of the parents is to train. The question here is, are you training? One of the ways you train is to repeat an activity over and over and over before you expect a, and by that, you are modeling a behavior before you expect that kind of behavioral response. So, if you do not set these rules, if you do not set this plan in place, the children now are being modeled by open reality. And the open reality is anything they see. So it could even be their friends telling them what happens in their house. And they now start to see a form of how things should happen. And guess what? They will import that into your house. And now these conversations with their friends could either be physically in school or online. Excuse me. A lot of parents here, let me just say this, give their children devices because this is going back to an early conversation. Give their children devices because they want the child to just get out of my space. I am busy. I am I need to do this. I need to do this. Let me ask you, dear parents, this question: what are you truly working for? Are you working for a future that has a family, a future that is empowered, that your children are empowered in, a future where you've created the basic foundation for your children to thrive, but you're working to satisfy an idea of what success is by measuring, but by the just basic metrics that relate to finance and all that. Because I strongly believe that the work we do, whoever we become, is for our children so that they can do that and pass on to next generation. Thereby, if we're modeling rightly to children, we are imputing our parts to humanity. So some of us may never be speakers, that can speak to a lot of people, but you could be the mentor, the guide, the role model to a child who can now reach a lot more people. So I think that we're working for our children because at the end of the day, you want to pay their school fees. However, dear parents, I also ask you, for those of you who have cars, those of you who have phones, we know what we do. You just wake up and sometimes you're rushing to the phone. If your phone drops, it's almost like your life is falling on the ground. If you get to your car, dear women that's watching, you don't play with your trinkets. There's a way you package them and you dust them. And if the blink is not blinging, again, you go to this goldsmith to ensure that it's blinging and you wear your beaded dress. You want to come out with the makeup, you're taking care of yourself, and you're looking cha-cha, thumbs up to you. The question, why are you doing that? Because you are one of your greatest investments. If you buy a car, you wash it, you do all. It's a great investment. Now, let me still ask, maybe I'll be asking a lot more questions. Do you see your children as an investment as well? If you do, the question is, are you attending to that investment the way you attend to these other perishable investments? How much time do you take to ensure that your to ensure that you insure your children, not just by going by basic insurance, buying into insurance for them, which is now financial, but by uh, by creating the environment where they thrive, and they thrive with a balance or healthy sense of value. So this is why we need to create these rules and these boundaries. Because if you don't, children will always feel. And let me also say this: children come to this world like empty books. We need to write the coding for and with them, or with and for them. Because when they come in, they do not have the capacity. So, as a parent, I believe God sent you ahead to get experiences to help train those who come after you. So they come as empty book. Now, the question is, who's writing in the book of your child? Who's writing the book of your child? If you do not, somebody else is writing. So if you do not create the time to do this, trust me, somebody's doing it for you. And the person is not doing it with your intent. The person is not doing it even in your favor. And that's how you are at home, and then you raise children you do not understand how. You know, when a child sees you, I am very careful with the things I watch, talking about setting boundaries and then media plan. So in my house, do not see us watching anything that shows, with all due respect to my country where I reside. I reside in Nigeria. We have a lot of love videos or whatever it is. Always shows how a man staying with the wife, and then the sister came to stay, and then the man started sleeping with his wife's sister, and all those crap. And permit me to say, and this is my own perspective, I believe why one of the reasons we are having failed relationships, this is not this conversation, is because we have listened and watched all those rubbish. It has become our reality. So the media has sold a narrative to us, and we are now living it out. And then you play that thing in your home and you're laughing with your children. And some people bad though. Sorry, this is going vernacular for those of you who are not Nigerians. That's how people are and all that. You are now endorsing in your home a reality that you do not like. So in my home, we don't watch, we don't watch. Funny as it is, I select the movies my children watch. I watch it with them. And every time we do that, I'm always asking, give me three things you learn. So I try to make them know that every time you watch, you are being programmed, you're learning. The person who wrote the script has a goal. The question here is, are you the pawn in that whole puzzle? You shouldn't be. So let's pick the lessons. So my son is always ready because daddy will ask, what three things did I learn? My daughter will want to speak first so that the senior brother will not say what she wants to say and all that. But what does that help them do? That helps them process any information to pick lessons. So nothing is just happening in their lives. And I'm being intentional with that. As part of my setting boundaries and rules. In setting boundaries and rules, three things you can see on the slide here. They have to devise free zones where you don't take devices to in your house. Do you have devices everywhere? And for parents, one of the places devices shouldn't enter is the bedroom. No phone in the bedroom. By 9 p.m., my daughter will come sometimes and tell me, Daddy, please off your phone. Why? It's a rule in the house. Yes, she doesn't know. She may know that when she's sleeping, I will want to take the phone back, but it's a rule in the house. You know, so what we have, do you have device free zones when you are eating? When you are eating, research has also shown that the dining table has been one of the most strongest connection points. Whenever you bring technology, just like the earlier picture I showed in the first slide, you now disconnect that that connection and create an opportunity to chip in the hole in your family. Screen time limits, set reasonable screen time limits. And this is one challenge a whole lot of parents are having. Screen time, screen time. How do I do this? How do I do that? My answer is in two ways. The first way, the first thing I would say, I would skip that. I think in the slide ahead, I don't know if this is the next slide. I mentioned, okay, so let me leave screen time and let me come back to screen time. And I'll go to the slides and show you something that is not digital, but answers partly answers that, and I'll mention some things about screen time. So bedtime rules: establish no screen rule before bedtime to improve sleep quality. When your children are watching till they sleep, it affects their sleep. And when it affects your children, you need a whole lot of sleep when they are growing up. So mindful use of technology, purposeful use technology intentionally for educational activities, communication, or entertainment that adds value. Look at the last thing, entertainment that adds value. This just goes back to the point I was making about when we watch, what do we watch online? So my son one day mentioned that my father works for Zoom. And I laughed. So I asked him, what do you think your father does? Say you work for Zoom. I laughed so hard. And it just hits me that children are children are just picking what they need to pick, you know. But then he has always seen me. My daughter would see me. That's why when they come here, I like them to see what I'm doing and say hello to everybody. That is teaching, that is training. So they see my use of technology for something that's educative. I'm not here just chatting. Guy, how you doing now? Oh, all those things we just talk, 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 talk. When you're on phone, making all those phone calls, talking to, and gossiping, they are hearing you. They are seeing how, and that's number two. Lead by example. That's number two as well. They are seeing, they are learning. They are seeing, they are learning. There's a slide I have in front that says a statement, to this thing I'm saying. So, what do you use technology to do? What do you use it? Are you using technology just to shop? Shopping is not a bad thing. I know it's not a bad thing. But if that's all you do you know there are deeper implications to your children? One is that they do not even know why you are shopping, but then you are making them, what's that word? Okay, you're getting them addicted to shopping. So when they go online, they just want to buy. They just want to buy. They don't even think about the purpose. They just say anything they like. Oh, bam, they put in the cart, and before you know, they're using your card to pay you. They're shouting. you know. Um, so you need to also model good habits, demonstrating balance between online and offline activities. You should be able to turn your phone down. You should be able to put your phone. So for what I do, I coach. A lot of people call me. I have told my children, my phone will never, you never hear it ring out because I don't want to be distracted by it. There's sometimes it's on vibration, and then I just look at it, I mute it, and I turn it upside down. I don't want to see the call. I can always call back after. My children should not feel that the call is more important than what they are telling me. I have to model that you are valuable. And this is part of strengthening one of the things I said earlier, communication. So, in communication, research shows that what you say is 7% of everything that you're saying. What you do and how you do it is the higher percentage. So I can't tell them I love them, and then I'm giving preference to whatever is happening through this tool. No, I love this. They are just the tools at the end of the day. So you need purposeful use, but are using technology to do. And let me just say something. Let me just say something funny. In Africa, a lot of people use pirated software, and children get into your device, and then they are going online and they now see something, and you're now telling them, don't go online when you're opening this software, uh, so that they will not blah 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 shut down and all that. You go and buy cracks and all that. My dear, you have no idea what you are doing. You have no idea. You are raising scammers. You are raising scammers. That's what you are doing. People who will hack into people's, excuse me, and would not see the dignity of labor. So me, I generally pay for the apps, right? And the ones I cannot pay for, I look for somebody who I can share their shared license, right? who has bought for multiple users that I can share? Yeah. So lead by example. So this is the statement I wanted to say. Children, oh, this is one of the most inclusive of them all. Children don't need your permission to learn from what you do. They don't need your permission. I'll say that again. Children don't need your permission to learn from what you do. Remember, like I said, children are open books. So by default, they are learning. They will learn. You are their first introduction to what life is. Yeah. So you see, I'm always on the laptop. My daughter just went, I carried the laptop, I just started pressing. See, that's what they see, daddy. They model the behavior. Our behavior must be in line with the limits and rules we set for them. The first follow examples are not our advice. So you want to talk, sit down here, come here. You are telling them sit down, you are not sitting down. Ensure you are sitting first before you tell them sit down. Yeah. When you say stop shouting, ensure you are not shouting. And don't shout to tell them to stop shouting. I'm telling them it's time to off the phone. You be the first to drop the phone. They will follow the pattern you model. And now look at this. This was how it started, and this is how it ended. My wife screamed when she saw this. But well, I don't go to the barber because I could shave my hair myself. She's seen me do this thing over time. She's wondering why is her hair plenty, and daddy must like this thing. At the end of the day, what happened? She said, Daddy, do my own thing. Her aunt was yelling, eh? I said, if I don't do this, it will be trouble, at this age. And then I did it. Immediately I finished. You should see how she was feeling on top of the wall, that she now looks like a daddy. Children want to look like you, dear parents. Children sincerely, they can sincerely look like your error. And that is why you need to be intentional with your digital behavior. Yeah, they can look like your error. Children, children, whatever life is what you define to them. So you must be very intentional. You must be very intentional with your digital behavior. So I was going to talk about them. Yes, I was talking about setting screen limits, and let me address this here. So there are age appropriate timing in planning your media plan. There are age appropriate timing for children to use of screen. Unfortunately, we abuse our children unknowingly by giving them access to technology too early. Children below, the study by the American Academy of Pediatrics, what they recommend, no screen time for children below 2. That is hard though. When there's Coco Melon, when there's Mr. Whatever, and all those things. These things keep children busy. Look, for me, is when experts talk, I listen because they do their research. I don't have to be emotional or sentimental. And there's a reason why we do not have time for that whole conversation. But they say, no, why? Remember, I have said, if this is the only thing you take as a reason for that, remember I said that children, you are the first, you are the one. Just a minute, please. Thank you. Sorry. As an intentional parent, I need to check on my children. Yes, my thoughts. You are the one writing the program for the child, remember, at that stage. So the child is basically following whatever you do as a reality. And if you do not establish contact, if you do not establish that, if you don't create that bond, yes, at that early age, you know what? You gradually lose the child. So one of the reasons a lot of people naturally think that babies love their mothers more than their fathers is because mothers spend time with the child to her. So, and if you look at children, they love that warmth a lot. It's nature, it's natural. But we disconnected that by putting this in between us and the child. So the child, they're clinging, they are too close. Please let them cling and climb you. If they don't cling and climb you, this will close them up. And dear fathers, let me speak to fathers. One of the things I didn't write in my profile, I run a nursing fathers community where I try to bring fathers into parenting by creating support with their wives. Because see, the child is yours as well. Okay? So it gives you the opportunity at that age under to as much as possible no screen time because addiction starts early. And when they jump, I'm battling it. I'm not going to stand as though it's perfect in my home because for my wife, that cocoa melon saves her a lot when she wants to cook or she wants to do a thing. Let this child leave me. And now this child may run more. I need to also censor, for those who don't have time that they don't censor some of these cartoons or whatever your children watch. The children will go and remember somebody will be writing a program that is not in your favor. So is the content, have you watched that thing? So that's for 2 years. For 2 to 5 years, uh, you would limit. This is also very difficult. Now, is out of research, but it is very difficult. Remember, because you are migrating and you don't understand their reality. From 2 to 5 years, is recommended 1 hour per day. And so what should they be doing? Also understand that 1 hour per day could be 1 hour recreational. However, in school, they are engaging for learning. So when they have the device to themselves, most times they're not learning. They're playing roadblocks or one of all those the games they love. So give them that time for anything. But then we cannot take it away that the screen will be in our face for life. That's the digital reality. Screens will be in our face. Everything is screen driven these days. So if we have put in motion a plan to ensure that they are using technology to learn, then that could be healthy. Also, in the place of communication from three of five, you can now start having some light conversation with your children and let them know, so I come and sometimes when I wear my glasses, my daughter is asking me, why am I wearing glasses? And I have to explain because I have been on the screen, this, that. She says she doesn't want her eye to be like that. Because I now tell her how it feels and this and that and that. Having those conversations. So whenever you're always looking at the screen, this is how it can affect you. This is how it can affect you. Do you want this? No, they don't want this. Oh, my eyes, I won't do that. So what should I do? I'll say use your eye to look at things that will help you. We have that conversation and we move on. From 6 years, it's suggested that not more than 2 hours is also very difficult as well. And then teen adults, you teach them, but at this point, they can have a healthy balance. But when you're creating this balance, the word is balance. So if they are not on screen, they should be on something. It's the same eyes they use. If they are not on screen, what are they on when they are off screen? This is the greater challenge because most parents are not on anything. All they are is they are on their career. So I'm going to say something in my slides as we move on. But what are some signs that screen time is becoming too much? There are physical symptoms. There's a complaint of eye strain, headaches, disrupted sleep, neck or back pains, and all that. A lot of people. Let me turn to my side. A lot of people are not used to their phones. They're always doing like this, and before you know, there's that it affects their neck and all that. They have this, and there's a whole lot of pain as they grow up. Oh, when you're using your phone medically, you're advised to even use it this way, not this way. But trust me, those of you looking at me now, may say you have never known this, or you may find yourself guilty because I used to be guilty. So it's best you do this because of your back, the neck, that you do this. Okay. So that's a symptom. When you start feeling all those pains, that's a symptom. It's always when you are so much on the screen, the truth is you do not know when you become obese because you now have a static life. So it affects you. But when there's decrease in family interactions, you guys, like the were songs or song of Two Face, we don't even talk anymore. Sorry, not Two-Face, the Boyz II Men. Um, that's a sign that there's too much screen time. If the quick answer to anything is go online, you guys are so disconnected. Screen time is too much. When there's social withdrawal, oh, I want to be on my own. I like my space. It's a lie. We all created social beings. All those I want to. No, no, no. Is that you're getting addicted? It's like, oh, so there are different sides to this. There's also to the side that they could have been bullied. They have self-esteem issues and all that. There's that side to that. But basically, when the social withdrawal for children, you need to check it. Will also be um, overuse of over too much screen time. There's decline in productivity. That's also another challenge. There's so many things. Talk about sleep disruption as well. Then there's mood and mental health challenge when the child is just swinging from one mood to the other like a pendulum that's constantly swinging is also another sign. So I'll say when the child is not online, what is he doing offline? You need to do. So let's continue quickly so I can wrap this up. So one of the things you do, you need to foster offline activities, quality family time, and in your plan, in your family plan, you should have this. When do you guys spend time together as a family? Some of us is Sundays. Come drop out the gadgets. Have family meetings. Get your children tell you the things they like, they don't like, and we say it in love. And we can stroke ourselves and we are laughing about it, not because we hate ourselves, but we're just telling you what we don't want to see. We like you, but we don't like this part of you. And I enjoy when my children are hungry or they want to cook noodles and everything. Who's cooking today? Hey, and I video them. They love it. I'm recording them. Yeah, who's turning to cook? You see them. Those activities. Play games. There's a board game I have. Yeah, somewhere up here. It's a board game I have. Um, it's board. It's just board. It could be chess. It could be Ludo. It could be I don't know if you know what Ludo is, but one of all those the snake and ladder and all that. Whatever it is, it's fun. The Ludo here. There's a time we played myself, my son, my daughter, my wife. My wife was always coming out last. Hey, we're always beating. So it was fun. We did another card game where it was a family card game where you get to check who knows who more with questions they will ask. And whoever is piling more cards, is the person who knows every person body more. Fun games. And trust me, your children love it. They love those interactions. They want to laugh. They want to see, and your children want to beat you too. So you can play computer games, yes, but sometimes take them off computer games. So this is a no gadgets, no technology engagement. So those are the games that you can play. Growing up, we played many, and it will be amazing. It will be amazing to you to find out that your children now love some of those things you did. So it's not that technology stole them away; it's that you were not present in their life to present these things to them. That's what it is basically. So what were those things you do? So cooking competition, whatever it is, you create time for quality family time. It's very important. And that's one of the offline things you can do when you're not offline. And please schedule it. So you could have um so we have like movie nights and all that. So while we have movie nights and we choose this, most times my wife doesn't like the movies we choose, but then she ends up liking it. Uh, while we have movie nights, we can have game nights, we can have fat. And dear parents, please, like I said, the children are your greatest investment. Don't don't become too busy to invest in your investments. Encourage hobbies. Get family members interested in non-digital hobbies like sports, crafts, music and arts. So for me, music, my daughter loves dancing. Get her into a ballet school. She loves dancing and every move she's making. Well, then I'm so happy that my wife gradually has become a disciple of my daughter's dance moves and all that. My son likes exploring. He likes exploring. So like, hey guys, let's go here. You know, and he loves it when he's following me and we're doing things together. The first day he washed the car, he came and told me, Daddy, I feel like a man. So now I feel like a man. Just car washing. Get them involved in physical things. You'll be so shocked, amazed how it helps them establish tech-free time. You talked about this. Take technology sabbaticals, just take a break and detox from that. Create a family technology agreement. And now the important part of this is that you are not doing it for them, just doing it for them. You are doing it with them. Now, whatever you do that is void of them, it's already void. I'm not saying as a parent, you cannot, I'm not saying as a parent, you cannot be on the part where you're giving instructions. Yes, you should give instructions as parents. However, we have a generation who are digital natives, always put that, who can easily consult. And if they can consult, this now also, if they can consult and then confront you at the end of their consultations, it also shows that there's poor communication between you and child. And that's one of the things I started. I said I was saying in the beginning, which I said it in the middle. I'm saying here at the end of this conversation that communication is the strongest tool for discipline. It is the strongest tool for discipline. Have you built that rapport? Does your child trust you enough to entrust all they are to you without fear of being criticized, condemned, castigated, or whatever the word is, castigated, will they trust you enough? And that comes in a place of conversation. Your child should be able to say, Daddy, Mommy, without blinking that if I say this, Daddy beats me with how a mommy. No, 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 no. And this is what I train my daughter. Tell me, it's better you tell me than I find out. If I find that, it comes to consequences. So just tell me. And my son will always say, the truth shall set you free. He wants to always be free. So let's just always have conversation and tell me is that so we now want to do this. We're going to create a family. Why? Because this is our family vision and this is what we want to achieve. These are the things. What do you think we can do? And that they can increase our screen time from 1 hour to 2 hours. Okay, what if we do 3 hours a weekend and you do 1 hour during the week? Yes, yes, yes. Negotiate and let them feel there's a win. And when the children feel there is a win for them, guess what? They own it. They are the ones that will stand for the implementation of that agreement. And they are the ones that will report themselves when they are breaking the agreement. It could be that funny. So sit down and discuss, ensuring everyone is a part of it. Don't just impose it. Don't just be that tyrant. Don't be the government they want to vote out. Okay? So you want to ensure that your children are part of the process and everything you do. So a few online safety tools for family, taking the composition out. You need to be able to track. Remember one of the slides we said a lot about 1 in 6 don't use parental control, and sometimes it could be 1 in 6 that uses parental control. However, most of them don't know how this. We cannot have this conversation here. I would in its full stretch. So I run my digital parenting workshop, and I will invite you to subscribe. We'll be starting a new cohort next year. You want to be a part of our conversations where we would help walk you through this. Don't worry, we understand the fact that you are struggling. We'll help you know how to use this. A basic thing. Some of these things you Google them fine, but I know also as parents sometimes it gets overwhelming to get these things to implement these things, and that's where we come and we help you in our programs. Like she read, one of the things we want to ensure is that you become a glad digital parent by helping raise children that are responsible, productive, and safe online. So, yeah, online safety tools. It's always important. My son once was asking me if I'm the Holy Spirit, and I was asking why. He says, because I know everything he does online. Yeah, it's for his own good. Why shouldn't I know everything he does? It's like he can't do anything and hide. Why should you even hide what you're doing? You can take my phone and go and look through. There's nothing to hide. So why should you be hiding? Where are you modeling that from? And the truth is, he's modeling it from somewhere. So I am not angry or fighting my son. I'm actually fighting whatever influence is. And parent knows that sometimes when your children make mistakes or there's an error, they are not the problem. There's a problem somewhere. And that's what you need to deal with. And the truth is, once all you start with just your discipline build, attacks and all that beating, they will shut down from you. And that source of that influence takes them over. Many of you have given your children all these things. You are just paying rent for them to stay. You are not their parents because their real parents is here because you have given them access to a world that is bigger than you. You have not shown influence, and all you do is attack. But let's come down back to online safety tools, device-based and software applications. So most of your phones have these things. You not just explore them. There's the Apple Screen Time, there's the Google Family Link, there's the Family Microsoft Family Safety that provides. You can see. So I can with Google Family Link, I can shut my child's device and all that. There are softwares that help you now manage screen times, filter the content. I have seen where some of these pop-ups just come and you pop up, you won't know when you want to click one thing that will lead to porn, and who knows, could like we say, God forbid your child's not sees porn and porn and that, that's where addiction to porn and all that starts from. Net nanny, back, and all this will help the children. And sometimes you don't need to do this hiding. You need to do this. You need to do this, letting them know this is what you're doing, why you're doing it. So no child will, in as much as children, especially the teenage, love their freedom, no child loves to walk into the cops or the police, or walks in a way they would arrest them, or walk into a place where they'll be terrorized by predators and all that. No natural child loves that. And by the time you are helping share for your protection, not for my daughter and my son. I just tell my daughter, talk to my daughter. And this is just safety. And I want you to use this and bring it into online safety. If you have somebody who's always asking you for online safety questions, personal questions, where do you stay? Was your dad at home? All that, all that. Said, if the person wants to know if your dad at home, the person will speak to your dad. Why is the person asking if your dad is at home? So don't just any person ask you personal questions. Don't respond. Tell the person, I'll tell my dad to answer you. She's a champion of that. Also, if somebody's touching you in a place that, well, we talk about private parts. It's called private because it's for you. It's not for everybody. And there's that song, oh, pants, pants, pantisorious, pants, pants, pantisorious. What's in your pants belongs only to you. So we do all of that. So you consciously help your children know it's for their safety. I'm not going to stalk you, especially for teenagers. If you have teenagers, don't stalk them. Just get involved. And when they are online, anything they do, please celebrate whatever milestone they achieve with whatever they create. So these are some softwares that you can use. Like I said, conversations can be over here. And wrapping up, embracing technology as a tool for balance. You can use it to organize, scheduling, the things you do, your family time. So they all know when it's time to go. There's something that my phone will do 7 o'clock. Everybody just shouts, it's 7 o'clock, it's 7 o'clock, because they know they will hear one thing on my phone. There's something that will start by 6 o'clock, and everybody knows that by that time, we're praying or this needs to happen. So you can use it as an organizational tool. Two, you can use it for educational content, use it for learning experience, whether interactive e-learning tools, documentaries. So my son goes on YouTube. There's one mini school he's now always going on YouTube to watch because it's like, the way these guys teach. So he's going on the same YouTube, but he's searching for valuable content, something that he will learn. So when he goes to school, he feels smarter than all his classmates and all that. And then I said, delicate digital responsibility. Allow your children to be scared, certainly with you and more. Don't just do it for them. Do it like I always said, with them. Let them own the process, of knowing that, they're helping keeping the family safe. And this is their responsibility. This person does this person was checking this, and help them ensure that they are doing it rightly and they can report to you and all that. In wrapping up here, I love the statement by Reverend Sam Adeyemi. It says, success is not a day's job, it's a daily job. It's not a destination, it's a journey. So don't kill yourself today if you're not getting it right, or if it has no immediate impact. Let's take gentle steps together. It will turn out right. Like the chick on this screen has a long way ahead of him, just taking gentle steps. So whatever you can implement from this conversation, see it as a win. Don't expect everything to change one day, 1 week, or 1 month. It wouldn't. That's the truth. But your ability to consistently apply this, engage in environments where you learn, and that's very important, you know. And this is what I encourage parents here. Don't see investing, remember, as in your children, as a waste of funds. You spend time to invest in your entertainment because you want to relax, but yet you go home complaining about the children, screen time, this. Engage in programs that will help your insurance policy for your children be profitable by engaging in learning sessions. We have one. There are a lot of coaches out there that have coaching sessions. Please ensure you engage in sessions. Learn what you need to learn for your children, which are your greatest invest. Thank you very much, Inasim, for the time. And I hope this has been impactful to all of you who followed through thus far. Over to you, Inasim.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Thank you so much. I'm really we're really grateful. We have all our audience on Facebook actually. We're really grateful for this. I know I didn't expect less anyway. Thank you so much. Let me see if there are any comments before or questions. Okay, we don't have any question at the moment. For the audience, if you have any question, you can just type in and Mr. Teejay is able to answer. If you have any question, please. I'm really happy with all that you've said, and my most important take home for me is the fact that your children are your investment. And not just your children, I think your family is your investment because I
Yeah.
say always the family is our bias. And seriously, if you don't invest in your family, someone else will invest in your family. If you don't have the time for your family, someone else will have the time for your family. The world will have the time for your family. So it's either you're creating the time now or you will create the time later. But in any way, you have to create time at some point.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
You have to.
So for those asking, sorry, you were saying something.
No, I said yes. I was just reiterating what you said that you have to.
Yes, 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 yeah. So for those asking and like they're not really um had enough of what you've said, how do I replace the screen if I'm really going to kind of
So you went out for a bit. I didn't hear the end of the
oh
question. You
no,
went.
okay. So it's just about somebody asking what do I replace with the screen? If I'm taking away the screen from my children or even from myself, how do I replace it? What do I replace it with?
So
Like
I
they
would
want
love
more of
to.
that.
So the answer to this, I have actually answered that in my presentation.
Yeah.
But this is where a lot of parents are expecting magic. They tell me this, let me do this, let this happen. And dear parents, I'm sorry to bust your bubble. While I can tell you that most times you wouldn't do it. So this is what happens, and that's the fact. Because even if you try it day one, you may not get the kind of response you need, and that could be discouraging.
Mm,
You could try day one, you can get a very exciting response, and you want to do it again, but because you lack the capacity to maintain it, you will not be consistent with it, and then things gradually reset to how it used to be. So my
mm,
first answer to that question is get yourself responsible. This is where, and I'll say this, get yourself responsible. This is where you need a coach. If you want to hire me, I'd love to be your coach. Get yourself responsible to someone, just like you want your children responsible to you. You first submit. It's easy.
mm,
What's
mm,
seed time and
mm,
harvest? What you sow, you reap. Get yourself responsible to a coach who can check on you, who can ensure, who can also be that scaffold, that support system that you need. That's the first thing you need, actually, to me, anyway. And then, secondly, I have said, and I'll just reiterate, encourage physical activities. Is your life that boring that you can't create the physical activities? When last did you play football with your child? Allow them win. Allow them score the goals. In fact, put mommy versus children versus daddy. All of them on one side versus only daddy. Why? Because daddy is a man and daddy can dribble everybody and let them so win you and laugh. Create moments that would feel and feed the children's uh, emotional emotional bank accounts and their confidence. That helps them. When they say, I went to my children's school, and when it was time for inter sports, I came out to run. Parents, run. If you are part of those who run and fall, run and fall. It's part of the fun. If you are those like me who run and win, run and win. I came third position. And you could see that's my father. That's my father from my my children. you know, there are a whole lot of things you could do. Yes, I know that a lot of parents, because of the nature of their work, they're not always around. Whenever you are around, that time, ensure that the children know that they own a block of it. Foster, another thing you could do is to foster face-to-face communication. Dedicate time where you guys are talking. After school, when they come home, or during meals, I've said that the dining table, when it's time for me, don't give someone food and to go here. Go and eat in your room. No, 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 no. Come, everybody sit and talk, have conversation. You can ask them questions. It could be something about what's happening in Nigeria. There's a whole lot happening. So I'm asking my son about our politics. What did he hear? Daddy, they said, when he says that, do you know what hits me? Somebody is talking to him, and somebody might be giving him the wrong information. Daddy, they said, we'll talk about our president, Tinubu. Do you know that Tinubu? When he finishes talking, I'm like, okay. So that person that said that, where did he get it from? And he was like, I don't know. I said, okay, so can we go and find out what is happening? Sometimes we revert, go online, we read the news together. Oh, you're not like, oh, when he's going back to school, he's going back more equipped. So what he went to school one day, and guess what he told his teacher? Say, Uncle, my daddy can teach better than you. You can imagine what he went to tell his teacher. But that came up from the place where his teacher is his teacher. I'm his father. I'm also his teacher. We're co-teachers. So I need to also check what he's learning, how he's learning, and all that. So you need to ensure you engage. First, one of the things I also mentioned in the conversation is hobbies. Encourage hobbies. Do you even have a hobby,
Yes.
dear parents? What's your hobby? Is your hobby watching TV? Your hobby is watching TV. So I'm so sorry. You're in big trouble. With no apology, you're in big trouble. My hobby is watching TV, is watching movies. You're in big trouble. Yeah, and this is why I say you need help. So these are just a few. Come to the class. Let's explore, more ways to help you become a better digital parent.
So someone sent an anonymous question. So if you want to send a question anonymously, you can send it to my inbox, and then I'll ask. Someone said, as a PhD student with a demanding schedule, I am tempted to give my child a screen for as long as I can, so I can have time to cook, study, and also due to the fact that I am raising the child alone in a foreign country.
Uh,
How do I stop the mom guilt? Sorry, 1 minute. How do I stop the mom guilt of excess screen time or balance this when the time does not seem to be there?
dear mom, when you were reading the question, I could just picture so much that she is going through. And first, I want to celebrate whoever asked that question. I want to say thank you for being an amazing mother. Pursuing your PhD while raising a child by yourself is phenomenal. And that's amazing. I'm giving you all the stars and all the hearty cheers here. I'm rooting for you as well, and I think you're doing a fantastic thing by allowing your child see that the challenge you have,
Mm,
whatever the challenge, it's not a deterrent to your resolve to pursue your dream, and that's a big one. Thank you for not giving in regardless. First, I want to
mm,
also say, I want to say in addition to that, don't beat yourself with the guilt. Don't beat yourself with the guilt. It's a challenge, and just like when there is a fog, eventually to clear. And I'm happy you're asking this question. But the question I would ask you in response is, what is your community like? In those days in Africa, there's this saying that it takes a village to raise a child. In other words, the environment and those around you contribute to what your child becomes. I may not be able to say categorically because I don't know where you reside, but I know that if you have a community, it could be a community of women in your environment, it could even be an online community where you can meet other parents who are like you and where they can also share how to do what they do, could be a plus. In Africa here, it's easy for a single parent to carry the child to the grandparents, like I'm going to do for my children next week. you know, it's easy for. So you have to understand which is your community. And if you don't have a community now,
mm,
that's a bigger problem. So your community also acts as a support system. In your community, you can see other children. And guess you know what? When children connect to children, all those things we are worried about in life is not their worry. What their worry is how they
mm,
will play and enjoy themselves. And that's
mm,
enough engagement. Sometimes you limit your child and deny your child the opportunity for healthy growth when you do not exist in communities. So you want to ask yourself, what are the communities around me? If you're a Christian, you have a church community. If you're Muslim, whatever you are, what's the community around me? You have to think about that. Then two, let me ask you now. Let me ask you, if you hear there's an emergency in school where your child goes, would you be too busy to attend to it? We all know the answer to the question. You would fly from wherever. And do you know what that simply means? It simply means you can create time for anything you value. So you want to sit down. This way also you need a coach, a life coach. Sit down and remap your life. Remap your life in such a way that each moment is effectively achieving a thing. So it could
mm,
be 30 minutes or 1 hour with your child. It could be, what are the values you instill in that 1 hour that helps the child pursue something healthy? So my son, he's very active, he's very energetic. I know this can challenge as a single parent, but the principles are the same. He's very energetic. I got him into an acting role in a movie being produced by Nollywood. And right
mm,
now, he's the best actor in the family. In fact, he's already a star. you know, just that little engagement. It could be coding, and then so it's still the use of technology, but it's productive. So I have conversations with my son, and would you rather be the child that is the best gamer, or you can be the guy who's creating the games for other children? Ah,
right.
so when he's using technology, he wants to be the person who's creating the game. So that is leading to
Mm,
critical thinking, that's leading to seeing this as a tool for creation and so much more. So just those small time. And whenever you're cooking for your child, I don't know how old the child is, you didn't mention. Whenever you're cooking for the child, would the child be a part of the cooking process? Would the child be handing over to you the condiments you want to put in the meal? Can use that time to tell the child stories
mm,
of how your mother taught you how to cook or how you didn't know how to cook. And my father has this thing he calls Oscolovia Odudundu. It's not in any dictionary, it's not in any menu, it's only in my father's menu. Yeah, and he's the only one till today that knows how to create it. So you see him in the kitchen. What is he doing? He wants to make Oscolovia Odudundu. Whatever that is. And there is no well, his grandchildren knows what that thing is. And trust me, when he makes it, he just puts many things together. It has a unique taste. So that cooking time should not be, and like I said, I don't know the age of your child, but that cooking time should not be a total aside time for the child. Then you could also want to, if you can afford, if you can afford, you also want to get a nanny, you know. But you need to do your research on that. If you can afford it, get a nanny. And then your nanny should know, when you're doing that, what happens today is there should be your city camera all around. But then your nanny should know what you want to achieve. Nanny should be helping you achieve. Sit down, read books, stories to the children, give them pen and biro to draw. Oh, I don't know what that picture is. I shared it once on my status of my daughter when she drew me, and the only thing in the picture that looked at me was my beers. She just drew one round circle and did this on there. I said, Daddy, this is you see. Oh, and I thought I was showing everybody the picture, and everybody says that you should draw them. Ah, she felt on top of the world. Yeah, she said, who should I draw and all that. So the little things that matter so much. So don't overthink it. Just think about the process and how to engage a child with. It's going to be a fun one for you. And please, life is not as serious as they look on some people's face. Make it fun.
Thank you so much. And someone said, I'm really blessed. We are currently struggling with my 2-year-old daughter running up and down with the phone.
I can understand that.
Hmm.
Almost everywhere that happens. I have a two
Hmm.
year old. I have a 2 year old. So he's always jumping, and he would want to always pull the phone. I intentionally take it out from him. No? If he should
Hmm.
have anything, I should give it to him. So remember, it's programming. So take and tell them no,
Yes.
no, 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 no. Yeah, I tell them no, 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 no. I tell him. I know he's understanding. He may not understand the way I'm thinking, but whenever I do,
Hmm.
no, 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 no. And then I carry him, and then you just see the way he hugs me, puts his head here, and then maybe I'll put up something on the screen, and we dance and jump and jump and jump. And when he's tired, of which nowadays I get tired before him, when he's tired, he sleeps. I know he loves fruits, so I give him fruits, and then sing. So I'm a nursing father. Uh, I chose to get involved. It's not conducive, but I chose to. I got to
Hmm.
realize that it's the best experience children need. So then, like I said earlier, if you feel too overwhelmed, grandma is there, grandpa, if they're close by, an uncle and all that who could visit an aunt, but ensure that your values are in place, you have your checks, so nobody comes into your home and becomes a predator in your own under your nose.
Thank you very much. And I think that is where working with your spouse comes in. Because if you
Oh
are
yeah,
actually working together with your spouse, if you have one voice, then it is easier for you to be able to like make a media plan to be able to support the family. You can decide to say for us here, no TV, no phones during the weekend, weekdays for the children. Not we don't own the TV Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, only Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays, and just for 2 hours. So and it's working for us because we decided, okay, we're going to work together. No TV for them. So we have lots of activities. So you can decide to replace the screen time with puzzles. You can buy lots of puzzles. So depending on the age bracket of your children, there are lots of puzzles for each
puzzle,
age child.
puzzle.
Age 2 years,
Woo!
3, 4, 5, 6. Even if your child is 200 years old, there are puzzles for that child. And
Yeah,
also, you can replace them with Legos. You can replace them with books. You can replace screen time with books, Legos. Play with your children. Oh my goodness. If you see the way I play with my children, like we run around the house, we jump, we fall down, we play. Something I can't even remember some of the songs. We just keep playing. We make a mess of the house while we're playing. But then when we finish, we tidy up. That's the goal. We mess the house, we tidy up when we finish. We create we cook. nothing serious, maybe noodles. And sometimes when I'm cooking, I allow my son to come in and help me stir. It's not like he's doing something serious. When I'm making stew, I'll be like, okay, you come in, get a stool for him, and he keeps stirring. We bake and all of that. So sometimes the parents are afraid that the house might be messy when the children are helping us. But the fact is, it has to be messy. Parenting is messy, actually. It's actually messy. Let them mess the house, and when you are done, tidy up. Yeah. So, when you're done with whatever it is you're doing with the kids, just tidy up. Let the children help you to tidy up because they will really appreciate it if you're tidying up together. Like my children, they really love it.
Yes.
They're always looking forward to us cleaning up when we finish playing. So we put on the music. It's time to tidy up. So we tidy. We sing the song while we're tidying up, and yeah, and also you can replace it with games and just talk to them online, offline chat. It doesn't have to be you talking to them through the phone. You can just talk, ask them how was your day, what was the most important thing that happened to you in school, who did you play with today, and then talk. It's really important for them because for me, I think um, love to children is spelled time.
Yeah, yes,
Time.
it's time.
That is what children see as love. Yeah, yeah, that is love for children. Time, the time you spend with them. I can be online for 30 minutes. I post whatever it is I want to post, go through whatever it is that is going on online because for me, that is how I get to know what is happening in Nigeria because I'm here in New Zealand. I don't really get to know what is happening only when I come online. So I go online, post whatever I want to post, go through what is going on for 30 minutes, and then that's it. I delete the app and then I have time for my children. And maybe after 2 days, I download the app again, go through what is going on for 30 minutes, I delete and I get find time for my children. That's what I do. And for me, it keeps me in check. That is the only way I can be able to have time for my children. I just want to be intentional, and we can all do that because we keep saying we don't have time, we don't have time, but then we should be able to create time for the things we love and for the people we love. And the people we love are our family members and our children. So why can't we just have time for them? You can go online. There's nothing wrong in you being on Facebook or whatever it is you want to. But then why are you there? What's the intent of you being on Facebook? So it has to do with the intent. What's your intention on being there? Are you just there roaming around Facebook or WhatsApp or YouTube, not doing anything or not being productive, like Dr. Teejay said? So you have to be online because you want to be productive. What are you learning? For me, sometimes I go online because I'm learning to cook. I'm trying to learn new skills, new cooking methods, and um, other things. And then when I'm done, I come out. I leave the whole Facebook and every media to be able to have time for the kids. So it's good to be online. It's good to have screen time when you want to, but then there should be time for everything. Create a media plan with your wife or your husband, or even your with the children. If your children are of age, you can sit down and talk to them, and then find a way around social media or find a way around in the internet to be able to have time for each other. And yeah, that is love. Family is good. Life is good.
Yeah, I'm actually intrigued by the fact that thank you for all you shared. Very on point. Especially,
Mm,
I
mm,
love the reminder about working. We do that together.
mm,
Chores. It's very beautiful. Always do
mm,
chores with your children. Um, I love the this was also most intriguing from all you said. The fact that you delete the app and you
mm,
reinstall the app.
mm.
Man, I'm giving you 5 stars for that.
At least three
That
times a week. I do that 3 times a week.
wow. Well,
Hmm.
please, if you
I can
can
be so
do that with
addicted to something. That's
yeah,
hmm.
for me, like I said, my phone is always on vibration. My all my apps
Hmm.
are muted. All your notifications. There's this app, Minimalist. I think that's the name, Minimalist, a minimalist phone or something.
Okay.
With the app, it helps remove all the things you don't want to see. So
Hmm.
no
Okay.
notifications, no notifications, no,
Hmm.
because when you just see all these things, message coming, message coming. My WhatsApp is
Hmm.
on mute.
Hmm.
I want to go to WhatsApp when I want to go to WhatsApp. When you call me, it's not favorable.
Yep.
I don't owe you answering you.
Hmm.
because it's good for you to call me at that time. The question is it working for me to take the call? And I think
mm,
this is not being rude. Some people may read it as being rude. This is being principled. Because the truth I tell people is if you do not exist in the frame that people appreciate, people will not reach out to you for whatever they're reaching out. So do not allow
mm,
the pressure now redefine who you are because you're trying to please people. No, this is it.
mm,
This is how it's going to work. And this is where I say, I'm grateful for you that you have built yourself. Not everyone can do this. Why? Because a lot of us growing up, we have built habits over time that it's hard to unlearn. And this is where, again, I'll say you need
mm,
coaches. If Yanis is close to you, please
mm,
follow her. Let her teach you how to delete apps. Yeah? Me, I don't know how to delete
mm,
apps and reinstall. Okay. So, but that is
mm,
phenomenal to be able to just take this now so that you're not, because we need to also understand our temperaments, our types, because
mm,
if she
mm,
doesn't delete it, yeah, if her type doesn't delete it, she will eventually open the app. So the best way not to open the app is to delete it. And how do you discover that about yourself?
yes.
This is again, I'll say you need help. So please reach out to her. She's a fantastic coach. I know that. Reach out to her if you need help in so much, like she has said, and especially in learning how to delete apps. Maybe I should come to your class to learn how to delete apps. how to
Thank you.
delete
And
how to
there's one thing
delete.
I
Sorry,
noticed about
I said you should do a class how to delete apps
how to
and not
delete.
feel
I'm
guilty.
guilty about it. Yes, yes, yes. And there's something I noticed about my children. Every time I'm online, like maybe trying to chat like with people, and they notice I'm beginning to not give them so much attention, somebody starts misbehaving. I have a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old. So the moment I don't give them enough time, maybe 10 minutes, I'm away from them. Somebody starts beating somebody starts jumping somewhere, somebody just starts doing something. I was like, okay, it was just 5 minutes ago that I left you. When did you get to do this? So I try to, like, when I come back from work, put the phone on the fridge. So none of them will be able to reach the phone, and then have time for them. And then there are times when I'll have to check my phone if there's a message, because I'm here and my siblings are back home. I need to get in touch with them. I need to talk to them, and I have friends and I need to get in touch with them. But then I create that time. It's just you being intentional and disciplined also.
Yeah,
Hmm.
well said. I'm thinking
Yes.
about my two. I have 2 and 5 year olds, and I understand the drama. But the good thing there, what I want listeners to pick from this is the fact that children love your attention. Yeah, they love
Yes.
your attention. So whenever um they feel denied their attention, they will always, so when you see them react, don't get angry. It's the fact that and it's a
Mm,
good thing. They love your attention. They want you
mm,
there. You've always been for the whole world. A lot of people tell me that it's not professional, but I don't owe any person an apology. If you don't want to get me on your platform, fine, thumbs up. My family is first before your
mm.
face. So my
Yeah.
family can be with
Yep.
you. I've seen some they call them, what's they call it? Media gags or something where somebody is talking on the news and the daughter walks in and is driving the person away, driving the person.
Mm,
Why? Why should you drive the daughter away?
mm,
Because you're on the news and your daughter comes in? No. My daughter comes in on the news and I'm saying something serious. I'll hug my daughter, kiss it, daddy's on the news, say hello to everyone, hello, and walks away. Yeah.
mm,
I wouldn't chase my tribe. Whatever, if you don't want to get me on a platform, fine. I'm not looking for platforms. I'm looking for my family first. That's the biggest platform.
mm.
So
Yeah.
when children start to learn, because at the end of the day, I want my child also to grow to be able to start to share better than me, earlier than me. So I make them also appreciate what I do. And sometimes, sometimes my daughter will tell her elder brother, Dad is working for our money. Please don't disturb him. So,
Mm.
because they know this pays the bills. It's pays the bills. I've had that conversation. So it's not that so they know, okay, you want daddy to buy you something for your birthday or something. You should know that daddy needs to make the money. And how does daddy make the money? By doing what he's doing. He talks for a living, and other things. So it's either you are helping me so that I can buy that thing. Because when the time comes and you need it, remember you did not allow me get the money that I need to buy. So you won't have it this season. And they need to have it too.
Mm,
So we strike a deal. And this is where,
mm,
those kind of negotiations, getting them involved in everything you do is important early enough. One day, so my wife runs a travel agency, and there was one day my daughter, my son, they picked laptops. And why, what are you doing? They said they're helping mommy book tickets. They were just, pressing the laptops. And as funny as that sounded, I was excited that they appreciate what we were using technology to do. That's what I appreciated.
mm.
Thank you very much, Yenisi, for having me today.
Thank you so much. And so, if anybody here wants to contact you for the digital class, how can they reach you? Maybe email, or would you want to share your phone number or email address,
Okay,
please?
yes, okay, I will share a number. You can just send a WhatsApp message to that number.
Okay.
Hold on a bit. I will share a number. Where's that number now? Yes, please, you could take this number plus 234. Is this one you want to type it on the screen somewhere? Plus two three
Okay.
four 702 510 6832. I'll take that again. Plus two three
Okay.
four 702 510 6832. Or you can send an
Okay.
email to thegladco@gmail.com.
Can you spell is it THE?
THEGLADCO, thegladco@gmail.com.
The Gladco at
Yeah,
gmail.com.
yes. Thegladco@gmail.com.
Okay, yeah, I've sent it through because our audience are actually on Facebook, so I've sent it through. So in case any of them would like to contact you, and I think here we can say have a good night to
Thank
everybody
you so
watching,
much.
and good afternoon to the people watching here from New Zealand. Thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you so much for your time, sir. I'm sincerely grateful. Thank you so much for taking that time, and it's already midnight. You need to be sleeping by now. God bless you so much for us. Thank you. I'm really
Thank you for
grateful.
your patience. I know I came in late
No
and I did
problem.
apologize for that.
No problem.
Thank you so much. Have a
It's
good
okay.
night, everyone.
Thank you. My regards to the family. Thank you so much. God
They were
bless.
here.
Thank you. You can end it from your end since you're recording.
Oh, okay. I just made you host, so you could.
Yes.
I just
Oh,
made
it's
you host, so you could stop
okay.
it.
Okay. All right then. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.